So thank you so much. My name is Raza. I'm from Iranian State News Agency. If you allow me, I have a question from the Honorable Vice Admiral. So thank you. We have seen the activities of the Navy before the escalation and the readiness. As the Indian Navy P-81 was being closely tracked and even seen on media, why Pakistan Navy decided not to shoot it down? And you refer to the limitation facing by the Indian aircraft carrier. Keeping in view the limitation of the Indian aircraft carrier, can you please explain us why India have not brought its carrier to, for so-called possible attack?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the question. Okay. First of all, like I told you that the war is not fought in isolation by a single service. So, whatever we do, it's a very well coordinated effort. So, all actions are calibrated amongst the three armed forces at what time, what is to be done. So, at that time, when that was the video of 4th and 5th of May, we just demonstrated that we were keeping a very close vigilance. And I've mentioned our, the very effective coordination and collaboration with Pakistan Air Force. So I'll not go into those details because of the operational security reasons. But essentially, that was simply to send across a message that if we can track, so we can go to the next level, but that is based on the national decision-making line. That's not an isolated. The Navy will always act in sync with the all three services, and that would be a national security decision-making thing. So when the time will come for that to happen, so inshallah we will respond in that fashion. The aircraft carrier, I mentioned, for example, we can have that slide, Kazim, if he's here. So this is the aircraft carrier which is having 8 to 12 Big 29s, which is barely enough to carry out its own air defense. And aircraft carriers, if the Western air carrier, if you talk of the 4th class aircraft carriers, they carry like 75 plus aircraft. And the purpose is to project the power and to have the air superiority in a theater of war. Yeah. So, and that is how they influence operations from sea to land. So here, in case of INS Vikrant, the aircraft that it was carrying, they were barely enough to carry out its own air defense. And, the question of projecting power ashore or to maintaining an air superiority in a conflict theater, that's simply not possible. We know that, the Indian Navy understands that, and that is why it was more of a psychological, trying to create a deception or a psychological effect. And we fully understood that. And like I said, we were always ready. Had there been any aggression, we, in close coordination with Pakistan Air Force, we were always ready. They were cockpit ready to generate a response. We have a mechanism worked out with the Pakistan Naval Aviation assets and Pakistan Air Force assets. So the response was always ready. And this is simply, let me say it politely. I did mention that as a professional military officer, I don't want to underestimate the enemy. But let me tell you candidly that INS Vikrant, with its present capability, it's effective essentially in the IO domain, and which essentially you saw that article in the Telegraph and that hype about. So essentially, its effectiveness is restricted to the IO domain. And had it not been the case, it would have projected the power ashore and it would have created some effect. So they understand the limitation, and we also understand that.